My aunt was the sort of person you wouldn't want in the neighborhood. So my Aunt Linda lived in this quiet suburban street for like 30 years. Nice enough lady when you got to know her, but she had this habit of finding fault with absolutely everything her neighbors did. Too loud, too messy, wrong color house, wrong kind of car, you name it, she complained about it. But her biggest enemy was the family next door. The Millers had moved in about 5 years ago, and from day one, Linda decided they were public enemy number one. The thing that really set her off? Their trucks. Big pickup trucks that they used for their landscaping business. Not like monster truck huge, just normal work trucks. But Linda acted like they'd parked a garbage dump in their driveway. She'd call me every week complaining about it. Those hideous vehicles are ruining the whole neighborhood. They're probably lowering my property value. Why can't they park somewhere else? I tried explaining that people need trucks for work, but Linda wasn't having it. She even called the city to see if there were regulations against commercial vehicles in residential areas. There weren't. Meanwhile, I actually met the Millers a few times when I visited Linda, and they seemed like really good people. Hardworking family, kept their yard nice, always waved and said hello. And honestly, I thought their trucks were pretty cool. But Linda was on a mission. She planted this huge conifer tree right at the very edge of her property line, and I mean the very edge. Like she measured it with a ruler to make sure it was exactly on the border. The tree grew fast and thick, and within a couple years, it was blocking the Millers' view of the street. When they backed out of their driveway, they had to practically pull into the road blind because of this massive tree. Linda was so proud of herself. She'd stand at her kitchen window watching them struggle to back out, just smiling like she'd won some kind of victory. The Millers never complained though. They just dealt with it, even though it was obviously making their lives harder. Fast forward to last year. Linda's health started declining and we had to move her into assisted living. She was pretty upset about leaving her house, but there was no choice. I spent the next few weeks going through her stuff and getting the house ready to rent out. It was a lot of work, but I wanted to make sure everything was in good shape. One afternoon, I'm outside loading boxes into my car when Mr. Miller comes over. We start chatting about Linda and how she's doing in her new place. Then he mentions the tree. Very politely, not complaining or anything, just says, you know, that tree has made it pretty difficult to see when we're backing out. We've had a few close calls with cars coming down the street. I'm looking at this tree that Linda was so proud of, and I realize how ridiculous the whole thing was. This poor family has been dealing with a safety hazard for years because my aunt wanted to be petty about their work trucks. So I tell him, look, if you can get it removed and clean everything up before I come back tomorrow, go for it. His face just lit up like I'd given him winning lottery numbers. Within an hour, there's a whole crew at the house with chainsaws and a wood chipper. These guys worked like they were on a deadline for the president. I've never seen a tree disappear so fast in my life. They cut it down, ground up the stump, raked up every single wood chip, and even replanted grass seed where it used to be. By the next morning, it was like that tree had never existed. The whole area looked better without it, and the Millers had a clear view of the street for the first time in years. The best part? Linda has no idea. She asks about the house every time I visit, but she's never once asked about her precious spite tree. Sometimes I drive by just to see Mr. Miller backing out of his driveway safely, and I smile knowing Linda's petty little victory got erased in about 2 hours.